Okay, so I'm going to show you how to edit on a piece of paper. So I'm just going to take a general document and you're going to go to view, and I'm doing this with a mouse because typically this is for sighted teachers who are going to edit PDF files or make corrections on PDF files. And I've decided I'm just going to do this for all teachers. So you go to view, you click on view, and you go down to tools, okay? And we're going to go down to fill and sign and then open. Now I also want to show you that you may have it over here to the right, so just look to the right, fill and sign, it's there also. And if you click off here, you've got it on tools, okay? Some computers, it depends on how you open the PDF. If you go to view, sometimes it's not here anymore, it's over to the right, so I just want you to be aware of that. So you're going to go to tools and we're going to go down to fill and sign and we're going to open, okay? And so you can see ABC, so there's the ABC, so this is text, and the student can type in text. Now when you're grading though, you're going to want to make this larger because of course you're doing this for a visually impaired, a low vision student. So do make your comments large enough so they can actually see what's going on. Okay, so now let's do a couple more things. So let's say you have to strike through. So there's a strike through. Let's say you want to tell them that's incorrect. So let's just mark it there, make it larger. So, and as you see, as I click the bigger, it continues the line through, okay? If you want to do a check mark, you're telling them, you know, take a look at that. And of course, make it bigger because you're dealing with a low vision student, okay? And then of course you can move that around also, so you can move it up, just change it to the 4 bars. If you want to highlight something, there's add a circle, so let's just add a circle here. And you can just stretch it out and make it larger. And then of course you can move it around to highlight something that way. Anyway, so here's all your options. You can do signatures also, but that's another side note that we're just talking about how you're going to grade this. An X, you need to put an X on something, exit, and then of course, once again, always make it larger and then move it. You can move it into position. So that's how easy it is to grade. So now let's go ahead and do it originally right from downloading a document from an email. So here we are, and it's PDF. So this was saved in PDF, even though the student had it in a different way. Let's go ahead and just click on download. And we're going to click on open, and I have Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. If you have the other Adobe Acrobat, sometimes they have them. I've discovered DC is absolutely the best. Yes, it is a free download, so you can download Adobe Acrobat Reader DC, and it's wonderful because it has all those editable options in OK. Okay, so here we are on student's paper. I've already crossed out their name, so this is not shown to anybody. And we actually want to make corrections to this. Big part of this, and students just need to know, you need to show your work. So if you show your work, the teacher actually knows where you may have had the hiccup in understanding. So showing work is always very vitally important. So the teacher is making a correction, and the first thing he wants to do is make a slash mark through here. Now, probably making a slash mark, checking it with a check is going to be easier and more visual for the student. So we're going to go down here and we're just going to make it a check mark, and we're going to make it nice and big because once again you're dealing with a low vision student, and then move it into position so you know the student sees, okay, that's a check mark, and you want to say a half off. So now you're going to go ahead and go up to the letters, and you're going to click, I'm going to click over here to the edge, and we're going to do -1/2. Make it nice and large because of course you're dealing with a low vision student. Beautiful. And they will see that. So you're just going to go down and keep marking on the paper as you need to, and just click and make it nice and large, move it into position right over the letter so they see that. And then of course you're going to continue to make your corrections going down. And then down at the bottom, you want to put a total. So AB, back to AB, move it down to the bottom, and go ahead and say -2. And you'll see that it's automatically putting it in there really large because don't we love that computer? It learns from us. Come down here and you're going to go down to your next page. Okay? And then you can go ahead and continue to do so. You've got the circle, so you can click the circle. So go ahead and draw your circle on that, make it a little bigger so you see that. Then you need to mark in 3 pi 4. So let's go ahead and do that. Correct here. And I'm going to put it over here so we see that. And then we're going to do 3. Now, if you actually want to get the pi, this is the easiest way to do that. Go ahead and go to Word. So it's under Symbols. Alt-N is the easiest way to find that. That's your insert key, and then you go all the way over to Symbol, which is U. My pi is right there. So once you insert it, it's there. But let me show you where it's at in more symbols so you get it up to the most popularly used. And there's pi. If you want to memorize the code, it's 03C0 Alt X, and it will instantly turn to pi. But if you don't want to do that, you can go ahead and click Insert and then Close, and go ahead and make that larger. So select Control Shift greater than is just the fast way to do pi. Control Shift greater than. Make sure it's selected, copy it, Control C, Alt Tab back. Okay, so we want to make a comment there, so paste, Control V, and there's your pi, and then over 4. So then she sees exactly where it needs to be. Let's go ahead and do an arrow, same thing, so we're going to go back. And what I actually have my students do is they get their most used of those 20, so all you have to do is quickly go to what you need and copy it and move it out. So let's go to our arrows, green, hit M for math, mathematical equations, enter and close, and there's your arrows, okay? And just click it in. Now once again, it's up in the most used symbols. See, it automatically inserts there. So you don't have a whole lot of work on that. Control Shift greater than. Make it nice and big so the student can see it. Copy that, go back. Okay, and then we need to insert a different arrow below. So we're just going to click it right there. Control V to paste. That looks a little small, so make it larger. Okay, so that's how you can do any symbol. And truly in Word, if you come back, go to the Insert, go to your symbols, all your symbols are there. And if this is math class as it is, go ahead and go to your mathematical equations, and then of course it automatically switches to arrows as you find it. You have hundreds and hundreds of symbols there. So that's how you're going to get the unique symbols that a keyboard does not already have built into it. So that's how you're going to do the unusual symbols and signs in your page. So now let's go ahead and go to handwriting. So as students learn to do it out on the computer, and of course all of this is very doable, and you can teach the low vision students. Most low vision students love this option also. So if the low vision student actually needs to write this in, and I can't actually even read this, and the problem with low vision students is they will write it out, but they can't read back their work. So I'm going to assume that's a C. So let's say the student actually needs to type this out. So I would have them do 1/C, and they can go ahead and do their own bullet with Alt-7. Very easy to put that in, and then they can of course continue to type that out. So 5, and just for quick ease for superscript, they do a caret to show the teacher that it's to the power of 2, because they need to see their own work. Now of course I would have started this way over here, so all of this would fit in here. The nice thing about it is the student can write it out and it's clearly written. And most low vision students do not have such a huge issue with typing this out because it's so much like writing, but maybe the student still needs to write it out until they learn all of these skills. So some teachers will be able to read this, and of course if you already have that math mind, you're going to figure that out. It's 1 over c times 5, the superscript over c squared, and so on. But what you're going to do is the work is shown, and then the teacher can of course make comments right there. So maybe you need to make a comment, you know, you missed a step or whatever. And you just need to make it large enough for them to see. And what's nice is you can always move this, you know, exactly where you need to be. Maybe you want to cross out, whatever. So you can make a comment right on the paper, okay? So then teachers, so whether the student has learned this step yet or still handwriting it out, the teacher can, you know, correct it. They're making a mark, and then they make a comment right by it. Don't do it over top of the work because once again, this low vision student's going to have a difficult time reading their own work.